Hi, everybody. Welcome to Treating Trauma with Yoga. I'm Celeste Mendelson, and I am a yoga therapist and a trauma recovery coach. And today I'm going to continue the conversation that we started last week about how to take care of yourself on a daily basis. What we're going to go over today is not a yoga practice per se, although it does touch on yogic philosophy, which includes the idea of being aware of what's happening with you and investigating what's true for you at any given moment in time. This practice that we're going to talk about today is a form that I fill out on a daily basis for myself. This is something that I came up with years ago, started doing based loosely on something that I'd gotten from a program that I was in at the time that talked about doing a daily journal. And I thought that sounded like a reasonable thing. And then this came out of that because I felt like I really needed more. I needed more than just writing down my thoughts. I needed to talk about how I was feeling and check in with myself with that because knowing how we're feeling for people who have trauma history is sometimes a mystery, right? We don't really know how we're feeling, and because we shut that out and we don't pay attention on purpose. So instead of allowing myself to continue in that unconscious manner, I made it a part of my regular daily routine to pay attention to what was happening inside me and outside. It's not just about what's going on out there, but it's important to be talking about both of those. So the form that I came up with, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to put it up to the screen so that you can kind of get an idea. This says on it, "Today, Celeste." And it gives you, the first part of this is talking about how you're feeling, okay? Mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. A little bit to think about, right? The next part of that gives you your long-term goals, and that's something that doesn't change on a regular basis, but I mean, occasionally it can change. And you keep that list for yourself. This is my list, so that's what you're looking at here. These are my list of goals. And then underneath that is short-term goals. And those are things that are going to help me get to those long-term goals. Underneath that is my to-do list for the day. This is how I structure my days so that I know what it is that I'm doing at any given moment in time. And I'm going to put this down now and then I'm going to talk about it. But I wanted you to see that. Oh, actually, there's more. There's a second page. So the first thing on my short-term goals is what you're seeing now on that second page, which is staying open and focused on my creative energy, because sometimes I lose sight of that. And I am aware that if I lose sight of my creative energy, I'm not going to really accomplish anything that I really care about. Underneath that is a column called Just for Me. And 3 things every day I am supposed to do just for me. And for me, oiling my feet is one of those things. Meditation and yoga is another one. And reading for relaxation is another one. Okay. So those are my 3 things. And then underneath that is the word journal, which is where I would put my daily journal of things, the things that I feel like I need to say, to talk about something that's on my mind, to talk about what's going on right now. Like right now, I'm in the middle of, aside from everything else, I am moving. And so that's going to be a challenge because my landlord is selling the house. And so I need to leave. I need to be out by January 15th. So I'm madly packing and selling things and moving things and changing things and throwing things away and figuring it all out, right? Um, So you're getting the announcement here first. Where I'm going is Panama, which has been a long-term goal. But it also makes it more challenging because I'm not going to take everything I own with me. I can't put it in a box and then just take it, on my U-Haul truck to someplace else in the city, or even someplace else in another city in California. This is over the ocean to get there. So, well, I guess I could go through Mexico, but I'm not going to do that. Anyway, the point is, it's very important for me to stay focused and stay connected to what's true for me. And I have found over the years, and part of it is trauma related. I believe that my ability to stay focused and stay on target is sometimes negatively affected by outside circumstances. And that's going to be true to some degree, regardless, I think, with everybody. And some things we can't do anything about because they just happen. But if I sit down with myself quietly first thing in the morning and spend the time to look at what it is that what it is that I want for myself, what are my long-term goals, what am I looking to accomplish, um, determine a plan for where to live is at the top of my list there of long-term goals. Create my trauma coaching business is on that list of long-term goals, although I've actually accomplished that, although I'm still working on it, so I leave it there. Treating trauma with yoga and the website, that's actually already done. It should probably be off my long-term goals list, as I'm sitting here looking at that. I have a plan for doing retreats. That's also on my list of long-term goals and something that I haven't yet done, but moving to Panama hopefully will help me get that done. It's part of my plan so that I can do retreats for my clients and for other people like you guys. All right. If you're interested at some point in time in coming to a wounded healers retreat, if you are someone who has a trauma history and works with helping others, whether that is in the medical profession, psychology, yoga, therapy, firemen, EMTs, all of that, right? So bringing treatment centers into that program is also something that I would love to do. Moving to Panama is on my list. Okay, it's up there. Long-term and long-term relationship is also something that I want. Right now, my focus is very much on my business, but that's still something that I want. My short-term goals are what are going to get me to those things that I ultimately want for my life. They include keeping my heart open, staying unattached to people, places, and things, continuing to let go, which is really important right now, right? Because because I'm having to let go of a lot of things. Sticking to a healthy eating plan. Why is that important? Because if I'm not eating well, I'm not going to feel well. And I really, really know that about myself. Um, Bike ride, walk, or other cardio more often. I do yoga on a regular basis. Depending on how I'm feeling, my yoga practice may be cardio as well. But sometimes it's just relaxing and stretching and feeling better and meditation and breathing. It depends on what's going on, right? It's not always the same. Um, Journaling this list just for today, journaling today Celeste list. It's important. It's important to me to do that. So it's on my short-term goals list is to do it every day. Okay, does that make sense? Getting my website and marketing up to speed. Sort, unpack, discard, right? All has to happen. Actually, that should be sort, pack, discard, not unpack. Okay. Taking it easy on myself, doing things in small, easy to digest bites. I have a tendency, and I know this about myself, to take on huge projects when I don't have the time to actually complete them. So, if I find that I've done that, and actually I found that I did recently, although it wasn't something that I screwed up so much as it was the universe changing my course. I signed up for a course on how to use a tool for my business that would help me do business more easily and effectively, and coaching on how to do that and how to set everything up and create my sales funnel and make all of these things happen. I signed up to do that thinking I had the time to, and then I got the notice from my landlord that he was selling. And what I did, instead of going crazy, going, "Oh my God, how am I going to do all this?" was I called and spoke with the people from the coaching company and said, "Hey, the yeah, the CRM project company." And I said, "Hey, this has just happened. Can I put this on hold?" And the answer was yes, I could. So I get to do this thing, but I'm just not doing it now. So I gave myself the time I needed instead of, which would have been my old behavior, which would have been running around like a chicken with my head cut off, either trying to do it all or going, "Oh, screw it, I can't do it," and letting it go and failing at it and feeling like a failure and hating that I couldn't do everything that I thought I should be able to do. I recognize that I am only one human being today, and that in spite of the fact that I want to accomplish absolutely everything in 24 hours, some of that time I need to be sleeping, some of it I need to be eating, some of it I also need to relax in. And that's a challenge because I have, well, not so much anymore because I'm getting better because I'm working on this stuff. Um, but I used to very frequently be working all day and stay up all night trying to get everything, or, until 10 o'clock to get things done. And then I'm rushing to get cleaned up and get ready to go to bed. And I'm not getting enough sleep, which is a whole nother issue. Another thing on my list of things to do every day is to get a good night's sleep. Take it easy on myself. Do things in small, digestible bites. Commit to using. There's a project or a website that I love. It's called Foundation Training. So I did, in fact, commit to that as something to do, and I haven't been doing it as much as I wish. I'll tell you that right now. But I do still use it. It's not expensive. Foundation Training is like isometrics for your whole body. It does things for you yoga can do using these techniques. Actually, it's something that I sometimes teach that way. But Foundation Training is fabulous, and I suggest it if you're interested in looking at something that will create more core strength and posterior chain strength, because those are areas that I need to work on, posterior chain, particularly because I have back issues. So there's that. And then is the to-do list, the daily to-do list. And on my daily to-do list at the very top is stay open and focused on my creative energy. And then there's the just for me, and we talked about that already a little bit. These are rewards for yourself. These are the things that you do so that you can feel like all the work that you're doing in your direction and your goals is worthwhile, right? So you can enjoy things that are true about your life right now. For me, as I said, oiling my feet, meditation and yoga, and reading for relaxation are at the top of my list for helping me to stay comfortable in my life. Okay. And then my journal comes last. And I write in my journal every day about what's on my head, what's on my mind when I wake up. I find that sometimes I wake up in the morning and my thoughts are everywhere, and I'm thinking things that are confused, and I'm not focused, and I'm not centered, and I'm, all over the map with, oh my God, I've got to pack, I've got to do this, I got to do that. All of that goes in my journal. Because once I get it down on, well, it's not on paper, it's on my iPad, but nevertheless, when it's in a place where I can look at it and see it, and I've written it down, I'm then capable, amazingly, of clear, coherent thought about my life. And I can look at things a little differently when I'm looking at them on paper and go, okay, so can I revise this somehow? If I'm feeling really anxious and frustrated and dissociated and just not having a good morning, maybe I need to cut back on some of the things that I'm doing that morning, if that's a possibility. Maybe I need to give myself breaks in between things so that I have those moments to just sit and breathe. Sometimes that's the best thing I can do for myself, is sit and breathe, or sit and read something that has nothing to do with my work. but is just for fun because I like to read. Some people are not readers and, they read only the, historical uh, books that enrich their minds. And I do find things like that important as well. But I like reading fiction. It's relaxing for me. So anyway, pick your things, find the things that work for you, put them down as things that you want to do. This list is what I'm going to be giving you, peeps, um, to help you walk through your days. And if you have any questions about how to do this, if you need any help with doing this, please contact me. I would love to talk to you about it. We can do a free mini session where you get an opportunity to tell me what's going on, and I can tell you um, how to work with this and maybe help you um, gain a better focus on your life and what it is that you're looking to accomplish. Um, and you never know, you might decide, hey, this is working and I think I want a little more. And if you want a little more, you can let me know that too. So you can reach me at Celeste at treatingtraumawithyoga.com. You can also reach me by going to the website, treatingtraumawithyoga.com, and leave me a message there. You can find me on Facebook, Treating Trauma with Yoga, and leave me a message on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, Treating Trauma with Yoga. So you can find me pretty much anywhere in social media, including here, of course. And if you want to leave me a message, you can do that. Like the video below, by the way, if you found this helpful, and leave me a message, and I will be happy to respond to you. Thank you for paying attention, for being here today. And I hope this is helpful for you. Bring your hands together at your heart for just a moment and close your eyes. Take a full deep breath in and a complete exhale. Our next video is going to be talking about breath. And I look forward to seeing you here for that. Namaste.